Now that Donald Trump is gone, it's a good time to remind ourselves of a time when presidents knew what being presidential actually looks like. And there is no better way to do that than by watching this film, Advise and Consent from 1962. The film is based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by Alan Drury, who was a congressional correspondent for the New York Times in the 1950s, the time at which he was writing the book. Nearly every character is based on a real person. Leif Smith is based on John F. Kennedy, Orrin Knox is based on Robert A. Taft, Fred Van Eckerman is based on Joseph McCarthy, and the President is modelled on Franklin D. Roosevelt. Even the blackmailing of Brig Anderson, and the way in which it's resolved, is based on a real incident. And the Leffington nomination is based on the House Un-American Activities Committee investigation of Alger Hiss. Interestingly, the opening credits state that this story is fiction. The characters and incidents portrayed and the names used are fictitious, and any similarity to the name, character or history of any person is accidental and unintentional. That disclaimer suggests to me that many of the story elements likely strayed too close to the facts. Director Otto Preminger offered key political figures of the time roles in the film. Former Vice President Richard Nixon was offered the role of the Vice President, but refused. The role of a Southern Senator was offered to Martin Luther King Jr., believing that the casting could have a positive impact despite there being no black senators at the time. King declined after serious consideration as he felt playing the role could cause hostility and hurt the civil rights movement. Evelyn Lincoln, who did accept a small part as a Washington Party guest, was President Kennedy's personal secretary at the time. Another minor part went to US Senator and future Democratic presidential candidate Henry Jackson, aka Scoop Jackson, who appears uncredited as a man turning down a drink from a waiter, something he never did in real life. And the role of Senator McCafferty, who whenever awakened from a deep sleep, automatically responds,
Mr. Frank?
Opposed, sir. I'm opposed.
Gaston?
No, Senator, not yet.
No.
And I
Mr.
believe that
Hanson?
you're not opposed.
Mr. Jolly?
He was played by 87-year-old Henry F. Ashurst, one of the first senators elected by the state of Arizona. The film contains some standout performances. Charles Laughton's is one of the best of his career, and more noteworthy as it was his last and was delivered while he was terminally ill, dying of cancer only 6 months after the film was released. Jean Tierney's comeback performance is excellent. She had withdrawn from acting for several years due to her ongoing struggle with bipolar disorder. Perhaps it was the prospect of working again with Preminger, who had directed her in Laura, the film that launched her career, and in two other film noir released in 1950, Where the Sidewalk Ends and Whirlpool. Burgess Meredith is cast in a role that must have been painfully close to reality. As Herbert Gilman, he testifies against Leffingwell at the latter's confirmation hearing, claiming the two of them were members of a communist cell. In real life, Meredith himself was named as an unfriendly witness in front of the Un-American House Activities Committee, which nearly ruined his career. Will Geer, who plays the Senate Minority Leader, was also blacklisted for refusing to name names before the same committee. Frank Sinatra and Charlton Heston were both keen for roles in this film, but were passed over by Preminger. Additional interest is created by how many locations within the White House were available for filming. This almost unfettered access was and continues to be a unique moment for cinema, providing an inside view that was made possible by President Kennedy, due to his fascination with the movies and the people involved. In turn, Peter Lawford, the President's brother-in-law, was cast because Otto Preminger valued his access to the Kennedy family. This is also a unique snapshot in time. At the beginning of the movie, Senator Cooley gets off a streetcar in front of the Senate office building. By the time the movie was released, Washington's streetcars were no longer running. Advise and Consent was one of a number of Preminger films that challenged both the Motion Picture Association of America's production code and the Hollywood blacklist. It pushed censorship boundaries with its depiction of a married senator being blackmailed over a wartime homosexual affair, and was the first mainstream American film after World War II to show a gay bar. Preminger was a high-profile challenger of the blacklist, casting left-wing actors Will Geer and Burgess Meredith. While actors typically hated working with Preminger for the way he treated them on set, it's likely that they were grateful for this second chance that Preminger provided, especially for actors who were sidelined by McCarthyism. The film garnered a Best Foreign Actor nomination at the BAFTAs for Charles Laughton, a Palme d'Or nomination at Cannes for Otto Preminger, and a Best Supporting Actor award for Burgess Meredith from the National Board of Review in the US. The Academy Film Archive preserved Advise and Consent in 2007. Now, this is a long film at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it is well worth your time. It's beautifully shot in black and white. As I said, it contains a number of really great performances, provides a bit of an insider's view to the White House and to American politics at the time there as well. So, what I'd encourage you to do is go to our website, find our virtual screenings page, find the link to Advise and Consent, click on it, watch the film, and we'd love you to come back and let us know what you think. You know, is this a film that you've enjoyed? Is it a film that's, you know, as well made as I'm suggesting? And is it a film that you would suggest for others to watch as well? And then we'll see you again in the not too distant future for another Classic Films review. See you soon.